Dumb shit. My team does dumb shit.
What's up guys, SeanEDawgz here, and it is time to bring back the nostalgia that is Infinite Warfare. This is not going to be a video like most YouTubers that play Call of Duty are going to bring you, where the entire video is a meme like, oh, Infinite Warfare is so bad. No, I thoroughly enjoyed this game, and I know that might sound impossible to some of you who have only subscribed since I started making Call of Duty World War II videos, but I really do like the way that this game plays. The action-packed, constant, non-stop running around all over the map, destroying people left and right. That's what I love about Call of Duty. Call me a jetpacker, I don't really care. I could drop nukes in COD World War II as well, but it's just a lot more fun to me in terms of gameplay. So I wanted to bring it back today and give you an old classic SeanEDawgz Infinite Warfare video. No face cam, straight up commentary over slaying out nuclear gameplays. I only died in this one before the nuke. I got shotgun. That's what really set me off. This was like my fourth game on, and I was just, model 2187, I'm not having it. So I had to nuke these kids. It was something that had to be done. And before I go any further, I just have to say, like, seriously, thank you guys. Like, there were so many people that left comments on my last video, and I just couldn't believe the overwhelming support. And it made me realize that I probably should have made that video a long time ago when I was going through what I was going through, because now it's something that's in the past. I think that's why I was more comfortable talking about it. But just reading all the different things that you guys had to say, there were over 400 comments on that video. I can assure you, I read every single one, and there were so many that just brought a smile to my face. So I can't thank you enough for that. And I want to reassure you guys that I'm doing fine now. So if you're ever going through a difficult time, just know that it does get better. Usually the only thing that's going to help really is time. There are some ways to cope with the feelings that you're having, but for the most part, it's just a long, slow, difficult process. So I hope you guys are having a great day. And we're not here to talk about feelings in this one. We're here to talk about Call of Duty. And man, oh man, I already know if there's people that still watch Infinite Warfare content to this day, they're gonna be like, oh my god, Sean, what are you doing? Synaptic propulsion, you're such a scrub, and the K-bar, oh my god. Come on guys. I've been playing only COD World War II, besides one day a few weeks ago where I did make one Infinite Warfare video. I just haven't been playing this game. So I went on, I picked Synaptic, and I chose the first class that I had. I played like 6 games, still was able to drop the nuke. I pulled out the RPR a little bit, but it was on Frontier. Frontier's a little bit difficult to drop a nuke. You know, people running around with shotguns, even if they're running around with a knife. There's a lot of close quarters there, and it's kind of hard. So I wanted to just crank down the difficulty knob a little, just chill, lay back, play some IW for the good old times. And I dropped another nuke on top of this one as well. I dropped one on Crusher, and that was another one where I got a little mad because a guy pulled out my class on me. I was actually trying to use not synaptic propulsion. I pulled out phase shift and perception on my FTL rig, but then I got killed by someone using my K-bar class synaptic propulsion. So he must have been watching some SeanEDawgz videos, and I wasn't having it. I pulled out the same class to counter him. He left the game after the first time I killed him, so I kind of felt bad. I was gonna switch classes after I died, and I didn't actually end up dying. So whatever, I dropped another nuke. You guys will get to see that one as well. But honestly, I'm gonna give it to you straight. If you go and play COD World War II and then you go play a game of IW, it's like going a full 180. It is a complete difference, not just because one's boots on the ground, one's a jetpack in Call of Duty. I mean, like, basic gameplay mechanics like hit detection, the connection to the servers, how you find games, the maps. Let's not forget about the maps. I don't know, man. It's kind of crazy. I can't really wrap my head around it. But COD World War II, I will still continue to play that game because it's the new game. That's what's popping right now. I'm not gonna grow my channel if I keep playing IW. So while I may not like the gameplay as much in COD World War II, I can still make some entertaining videos for you guys. You guys are going to see a lot of face cam, a lot of heavy editing in my videos. I'm in it for the long haul. So if you're in the same boat as me, maybe you liked the jetpack in Call of Duties more than you like COD World War II, I will still make the videos fun and entertaining. If it means that I have to cut out 90% of the gameplay and it takes me a lot longer to record to get some good gameplay clips for you guys and make some entertaining videos when I could get the same thing in 3 minutes of gameplay in Infinite Warfare, I mean, I'll do it. It is what it is. Michael Condrey has gone out and said himself that the sprint out time in that game That was a design choice and they don't plan on changing it. I don't know who thought that was a good idea. If you compare the game to Black Ops 2, the sprint out time for submachine guns in that game was 60 milliseconds. In COD World War II, it is 225. So it almost completely phases out your reaction time capabilities within Call of Duty. And I think it takes away from the game because Call of Duty is a fast-paced first-person shooter. If reaction time is not an intrinsic part of the game itself, what are we doing with Call of Duty? That's just my take on it. I'm sure some of you guys will disagree, and that's perfectly fine. You don't have to agree with everything that I say. I'm just giving you guys my thoughts for discussion if you want to share your thoughts in the comments. But listen, if you want some well thought out, strategic, slower gameplay, go play League of Legends. Those games last for like 40 to 60 minutes, and there's a lot more strategy to it. I understand that some people, they don't want Call of Duty to be all, you know, run and gun. It takes no brain. They want some strategy behind it. And Call of Duty has always had that. Even in Infinite Warfare, there's a lot of strategies, especially if you watch pro players play. You'll see smokes coming out in every strat in the books. But when we're talking about public matches, sometimes the pros, they'll, you know, warm up on some public matches. So you have everywhere from pros to the most casual of casual players playing for fun in these games. So what I'm getting at here is if you're going to combine all these players that have vastly different skill levels in the same lobby, there's some casuals, there's some pros or near pros playing in the game, the slower gameplay drastically reduces the skill gap. And there's going to be times where even the best player in the lobby, there's going to be certain areas of maps that you won't even be able to go on because you don't have a certain number of your teammates there. And there's a lot of numbers games that go on in these public matches. You can't just run around like you can in Infinite Warfare and gun 3 or 4 people at a time unless they are absolute trash. Even if I'm playing against good players in Infinite Warfare, I can take those 2v1 gunfights sometimes. In COD World War II, if you're going up against 2 players that are good and they're both looking at you, you are dead immediately. You're going to get 1 bullet off and you're going to drop like a sack of potatoes. If you don't believe me, if you've been watching any of the pros play in COD World War II, just think about how many different series have gone to a game 5. Now, I say that if some of you guys don't watch the pro players play, they play best of 5 series. So it's the first 1 to 3 games. And there are so many that go to that game 5 and even round 11 in Search and Destroy. It's first to 6 wins in a round. So round 11, that's the most amount of rounds that you can have. But there's so many close games. I think at this last event, CWL NOLA, even the announcers were talking about it. They had never seen so many close games and so many close series at one single CWL event in the history of Call of Duty. And I think the main reason for that is how slow the gameplay is. So even if you have these top tier pro players, they might have better aim than a lot of the other players at this event. Individual performance is completely outshined by the team play, and there's only so much team play, so many strats that you can do in a first-person shooter like Call of Duty. So it really equalizes all of these teams. Even though the individual players may be at different skill levels, for the most part, most of these pro Call of Duty players, they know what they're doing and how to execute certain strats. So at the team level, a lot of these teams are neck and neck. You saw teams like Red Reserve and Rise, who rarely ever place well in events. They came in 3rd and 4th at this most recent event. And teams like Optic, they finished top 12, Envious as well, even Splice, which is another top caliber team, top 12 finishes. So it just goes to show you the way that COD World War II plays is entirely different from any Call of Duty that we have seen in the past. Now, whether that makes the game better or worse, that is up for you guys, the community, to decide. I personally think it's worse for public matches, but it's better for pro players because let's say you have 4 Optic Scumps on a team. People always praise him for his submachine gun game skill. It's not really going to do anything for you in this game. Even if you have vastly superior gun skill to everyone on another team that you're playing, you still might get beat just because of the strats that that team is putting together. They don't have to be better than you in terms of individual gun skill if they are out strategizing you within these games. Now, problems come about in these public matches because no one is trying to execute strats in public games. They're just trying to have a good time. Maybe there's some people trying harder than others, but for the most part, you're having 6 chickens with their heads cut off against 6 other chickens with their heads cut off. So it's just chaos, but with slower gameplay, with slow health regen, slow everything compared to Call of Duties in the past. You can't put up numbers the same way that you've been able to in the past. You can't sprint around the maps the same way. You can't play the same. And by the same, I mean at the same speed. So for me, the speed is key. Even in slower paced Call of Duties like Black Ops 1, for example, people say that that game plays pretty slow. It is still hella fast in scientific terms compared to COD World War II. The three main issues that I personally see in COD World War II, I think they're issues that they could fix overnight and would drastically improve the gameplay, at least for players that are better in terms of skill. I can't speak for your more casual player because, you know, I'm playing a win. I may still be playing public matches. I'm not playing for money. I'm not a pro player. But in terms of the gun skill, in terms of the map knowledge, I have all that. So I'm playing to absolutely slay out to my fullest potential. And the issues that I see, if you're looking at this Infinite Warfare gameplay, what streaks do I run when I'm trying to go for nukes? I'm running my UAV, my counter UAV, my advanced UAV. They are just the perfect combo. They blind the enemy's radar, and they make my radar amazing once I get that advanced UAV. The issue in COD World War II, two of these streaks don't exist. It's only the UAV. The counter UAV, technically you could say that exists in COD World War II, but it doesn't function the same way. It doesn't block out the enemy's radar. It just eliminates the UAV. So they can always see when you're shooting on the map. The other issue, there's no advanced UAV. It doesn't even exist. There's no substitute in COD World War II. So even if you do gain a massive advantage in kills in this game, you can't go and slay out to a crazy level because you're still not going to know where everyone is on the map. And in terms of the sprint out time, I've already said, you know, I wish it was faster. So my fast reaction time that I have, that can actually play a key role in gunfights. Now, the last thing, health regen. It is painfully slow. Michael Condrey has recently addressed it in a post that he made. He said that they may be working on a potential fix or changes to the regen time because everyone's saying that it's too slow. When I get shot with 2 bullets, I have to go sit around a corner for 7.5, sometimes even 8 seconds to recover all of my health, when in previous Call of Duties, it averages out around 5 seconds. So while that may not seem like a huge difference, when you're playing a fast-paced first-person shooter, it does really make a difference. Do I ever think that these changes will make their way to Call of Duty World War II? Absolutely not. I think at best, they're going to change the health regen time, make it maybe 2 seconds faster, but it's still going to feel a little bit slow when you're comparing it to these older Call of Duty games. So the moral of the story here, guys, when Treyarch makes a game, you know the zombies is going to be amazing, and you know the actual gameplay at its core is going to be amazing. When Infinity Ward makes games, you know that the servers, the connection, the actual gunfights, the hit detection is going to be beautiful. And then when Sledgehammer develops these games, well, Sledgehammer develops these games. So that's all I gotta say in this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to drop a like, comment down below with any thoughts or questions you may have, and as always, subscribe to the channel if you guys are brand new for some more great videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.